National Electrical Code Section 408.34 states that panelboards shall not be installed in closets or bathrooms where a person may be subject to contact with the energized parts because of the confined space or where damp or wet conditions exist. There is an exception: panelboards that are identified for use in such locations and are installed in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions may be installed in closets or bathrooms. Section 408.34b details that where panelboards are installed in a closet, a clearance of 30 inches shall be provided in front of the open door of the panelboard. Section 408.34c states that lighting outlet shall be installed within the closet or in the attic or underfloor space adjacent to the panelboard. Section 408.34d states that panelboards installed in closet shall be securely fastened in place. It is important to note that some localities may have more stringent requirements, such as requiring a smoke detector in the closet where the subpanel is located. It is generally not recommended to install subpanels in closed closets due to the potential for moisture and the risk of accidental contact with energized parts. This is due to safety precautions that are recommended. There are a few factors to consider when thinking about subpanels in closed closets. Firstly, safety. The NEC sets rules to minimize risks. Section 408.34 strongly discourages placing panelboards in closets because of the chance of contact with live parts in a small space, especially where it may be damp. Secondly, exceptions. The exception allows specialized panelboards designed for these locations, provided they are installed per the manufacturer's instructions. It is critical to comply with these instructions. Thirdly, clearance. If a panelboard is permitted in a closet, Section 408.34b demands a 30-inch clearance in front of the open door. This clear space is there for safe access and operation. Fourthly, lighting. Section 408.34c requires lighting in the closet or nearby attic or underfloor. Good lighting is important for visibility and safety when working with the panelboard. Fifthly, secure mounting. Panelboards in closets must be securely fastened, according to Section 408.34d, for stability and safety. Sixth, local codes. Keep in mind that local codes may add extra layers of safety, like requiring smoke detectors near the subpanel. Seventh, moisture and contact. Due to the moisture risks and accidental contact dangers, it is generally not advisable to install subpanels in closed closets. This is a basic understanding of NEC regulations regarding subpanels in closed closets, but the NEC is a complex document. It is important to refer to the latest version of the NEC and consult with qualified electrical inspectors or licensed electricians. They can provide the most up-to-date and accurate guidance for specific situations. This includes assessing environmental factors, ensuring compliance with local codes, and adherence to manufacturer's instructions. Ignoring electrical codes can lead to dangerous conditions such as electrical shocks, fires, and equipment failure. This can result in property damage, injuries, and even loss of life. By understanding and following the NEC, one can significantly reduce the risk of electrical hazards and ensure the safety of people and property. Firstly, always ensure that all electrical work is performed by qualified and licensed professionals. They have the training, experience, and knowledge necessary to perform electrical installations safely and correctly. Secondly, use appropriate safety equipment such as gloves, eye protection, and insulated tools. Thirdly, regularly inspect electrical systems for signs of damage, wear, or overheating. If any issues are identified, they should be addressed promptly to prevent potential hazards. Fourthly, never overload electrical circuits or extension cords. This can cause overheating and increase the risk of fire. Fifthly, install ground fault circuit interrupters in areas where water may be present, such as bathrooms and kitchens, to protect against electrical shock. Sixth, properly label all electrical panels and circuits for easy identification and safe operation. Seventh, keep combustible materials away from electrical equipment and wiring. 8. Educate all members of the household or workplace about electrical safety practices and procedures. 9th, have a qualified electrician inspect electrical systems periodically to ensure that they are functioning properly and safely. The NEC is updated regularly to reflect changes in technology and best practices. Staying up to date with the latest edition of the NEC is essential for ensuring compliance and safety. This may involve attending training courses, reading industry publications, and consulting with experts. When dealing with electrical systems, it is always better to err on the side of caution. If one is unsure about something, it is best to consult with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector. They can provide the guidance and expertise needed to ensure that electrical work is performed safely and in compliance with all applicable codes and regulations. The NEC is not just a set of rules, but a comprehensive guide to electrical safety. By understanding and following its provisions, one can create a safe electrical environment for people and property. This understanding is particularly important when considering installing electrical components, such as subpanels, in potentially hazardous locations like closets. The conditions described in Section 408.34 of the NEC, specifically addressing the installation of panelboards in closets and bathrooms, are designed to mitigate risks associated with confined spaces and the potential for damp or wet conditions. These conditions can significantly increase the risk of electrical shock or other hazards. The exception mentioned in Section 408.34 acknowledges that certain panelboards are specifically designed and identified for use in such locations, provided they are installed in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions. This exception is not a blanket allowance, but a recognition that advanced technologies and designs can minimize the risks associated with these installations. Following the manufacturer's instructions is paramount because these instructions outline the specific requirements and precautions necessary to ensure safe operation. These instructions may include measures such as proper sealing to prevent moisture intrusion, grounding requirements to minimize the risk of electrical shock, and ventilation to prevent overheating. The 30-inch clearance requirement specified in Section 408.34b is intended to provide adequate space for personnel to safely access and work on the panel board. This clearance allows for easy movement, reduces the risk of accidental contact with energized parts, and provides sufficient space for tools and equipment. The clearance must be maintained in front of the open door of the panel board to ensure that the working space is accessible and unobstructed. The requirement for lighting outlets in Section 408.34c is intended to provide sufficient illumination to safely work on the panel board. Adequate lighting is essential for identifying components, reading labels, and performing maintenance or repairs. The lighting outlet must be located within the closet or in an adjacent space such as an attic or underfloor to ensure that the panel board is adequately illuminated. The requirement for securely fastening panel boards in Section 408.34d is intended to prevent movement or displacement that could damage the panel board or its connections. Secure mounting ensures that the panel board remains stable and accessible, reducing the risk of accidental contact with energized parts or damage to wiring. It is also important to consider local codes and regulations, which may have more stringent requirements or additional restrictions on the installation of panel boards in closets. These local codes may reflect specific environmental conditions or unique safety concerns in the area. Consulting with local electrical inspectors or building officials is essential to ensure compliance with all applicable codes and regulations. The NEC is a comprehensive document that covers a wide range of electrical safety topics. It is important to consult the NEC directly for the most up-to-date and accurate information. The NEC is updated regularly to reflect changes in technology and best practices, so it is essential to stay informed about the latest edition. In addition to the specific requirements discussed above, there are several other general safety considerations that should be taken into account when working with electrical systems. Always disconnect power before working on any electrical components. Verify that the power is off using a voltage tester before touching any wires or terminals. Use insulated tools and equipment to prevent electrical shock. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment such as gloves and eye protection. Work in a well-ventilated area to avoid exposure to hazardous fumes or gases. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, hire a qualified electrician to perform the work. Electricity is dangerous and can cause serious injury or death if handled improperly. By following these safety precautions and consulting with qualified professionals, you can minimize the risk of electrical hazards and ensure the safety of people and property. Electrical safety is a shared responsibility, and it is important for everyone to be aware of the potential hazards and take steps to prevent accidents. The ultimate goal is to create a safe electrical environment for all. Electrical codes and regulations are complex, and it is important to have a thorough understanding of them before attempting any electrical work. Even seemingly simple tasks can be dangerous if not performed correctly. When in doubt, always consult with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector. They can provide the guidance and expertise needed to ensure that electrical work is performed safely and in compliance with all applicable codes and regulations. The NEC is a living document that is constantly evolving to reflect changes in technology and best practices. It is important to stay up to date with the latest edition of the NEC to ensure that your electrical work is safe and compliant. Electrical safety is not just about following the rules, it is about developing a safety mindset. This means being aware of the potential hazards, taking precautions to prevent accidents, and always putting safety first. By cultivating a safety mindset, you can create a safe electrical environment for yourself and others. The information provided here is intended for general informational purposes only and does not constitute professional advice. Always consult with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector before performing any electrical work.